T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Hi guys, by now you'd have seen our merch store and you're familiar with it. But hold on, what's that, Christmas stuff? Oh, hold on a sec. Merry Kloppmas, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies for men, women and children. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Oh, look at the detail on that. But wait, hold on. There's more. Jingle. No, not Jingle Bells. It's Jurgen Bells. Look at the Christmas tree with the trophies underneath it. Snapbacks. You know how it is. You've seen the snaps that before. Oh, it's a red one. It's a red one as well. Guys, you know what to do. Click the link in the description. Head over to our merch store and get your stuff now. Let's go.
Look at that big.
Oi, Jurgen Bells. Jurgen.
Let me put my advert voice. Not only is that jumper, people, that's your finest cotton, people, with a unique Kop-Ish design of Jurgen Bells. Not Jingle Bells, that's Jurgen Bells. Not only is that our finest cotton, made from the island of unknown, but we've also got another one that says Merry Kloppmas. I play on the word of Merry Christmas. You know what to do, people. Hit the link in the description. Check out our merch. We move. Let's go.
Oh,
Good evening, lovely people. I hope you're well.
Indeed.
Hope you're well. It is Monday, the 29th of November. It's almost December, people. Crazy. The year is almost done. We've got a big month ahead of us. Matt Drift, how are you guys doing?
I'm all right, bro. Man's all right today.
Nice.
Yeah, not too shabby.
So we like it. And people in the comments, hope you are all well too. And you can let us know that you're having a good day by smashing the like button. So please do that, people. And please hope you subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. Share this around friends and family. And I hope you enjoy the show. Got a few good talking topics this week. So we're going to be speaking about Klopp's apparent admiration for Luis Diaz. We'll be talking about Virgil van Dijk and whether he's back to his best or not. Rumours of Joe Gomez being wanted by Steven George Gerrard at Aston Villa. We're going to have a brief chat about Rangnick and Klopp because I think a lot's been made of Rangnick's appointment and linking him to Klopp. And even though they've, got a good affiliation with each other, I think there's a lot that needs to sort of be explained there because everyone seems to think that Rangnick is Klopp's dad, which is absolutely not the case. And also going to speak really briefly about the AFCON and just a little idea that was put into my mind by one of our subscribers called Lakers. So I've got a good few things to talk about. But we are going to start with the main man of the show, the guy who's on the thumbnail, Mr. Luis Diaz. Played him twice this season, looked very good both times. Obviously has been linked to Newcastle in a 75 million move, which 75 million is a lot for everyone else, but for Newcastle it's like, I don't know, dropping 3p out of your pocket. Luis Diaz, Drift, I'll start with you because you're one of his biggest admirers that I know personally. Luis Diaz, is he if I was to say you can sign a winger in January, would he be top of your list?
Oh, would it be top of the list?
I'd throw in a little curveball there because the obvious answer is yes, we would have him at the club. Forget about costs, by the way. Just talent. Would he be your first choice?
Am I factoring in real life things like the players who I want to run available?
Who would you be thinking about, like St. Max or someone like that?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so am I factoring in like being realistic?
Yeah, because we can't go and get Messi or Lewandowski or someone like that.
No, even just like people who like Matt would probably say Rafinha, but that's obviously unrealistic in January. Like things like that, like factoring in like being realistic.
Okay.
I don't think Rafinha is unrealistic in January. We just have to throw stupid money at it.
No, that's unrealistic. Leeds in the middle of a campaign aren't going to let go the only hope they have of staying in the league.
If they get good money,
no, come on, man. They're in a legit relegation battle, and if they let go of the player who can keep them out of it, they're effectively taking payment to go down. They're not going to do that. That would be a very, very bad decision.
All right, what I did, and I'll rephrase it. I will say, is he top of your list of players who we could get regardless of other team situations?
Yeah,
not even that. What about the summer?
He's top of that list. He's top of that.
No,
list,
I'm saying Rafinha's in that list. So players we could get regardless of their current club situation, just on the basis of us being Liverpool. Whereas we can't go and get Mahrez from Man City or flipping.
Okay.
Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea. That's just not going to happen.
You see, the way I look at it, Rafinha is a bad boy. But if we bought Rafinha, I know you lot might think I'm being stupid. I would want us to buy Rafinha to replace Coutinho. I wouldn't really want us to buy Rafinha to bring in and be the guy who rotates with the front players. I'd want to play him in the three in midfield ahead of the two pivot and change the way we are and have more creativity and create more ball carrying from the midfield.
Changing the narrative drift. We need a
so what I'm saying is I would actually go with Diaz over Rafinha because I'd be buying Rafinha for a different reason. I wouldn't be buying Rafinha to be a wide forward, Cal. I'll be buying Rafinha to add to the front three, make it a 4 and change the way we play. I would want Firmino to be up front and I would want Rafinha behind him in a pivot 4-2-3-1. And going back to the Coutinho part we had for a couple months where we had all 4 of them on the pitch. And I'd want Rafinha to do that Coutinho of shooting from outside the box, dribbling, carrying the ball and being skillful and creative. I feel like he's a little bit wasted out wide in a team where he could play centrally.
Hold that.
Can I jump in on this?
No, hold on. I've got a different question for you.
Okay. So I've got something.
I've got a different question for you. We effectively have we all want a striker, don't we? Like we've all made no secret of that. We love Firmino, we love Jota, but we want that killer up there who gets 2 chances and scores 1.9 of the chances. We haven't got that right now. We've got fantastic attackers. Mane, Jota, Salah, and Firmino this season been brilliant. Origi and Minamino have chipped in with goals when they played as well. Can't really fault the boys up top this season. However, if we're breaking the squad down, Mane and Jota cover that left-hand side. And in my opinion, cover that more than adequately. Yeah, so 100%. Although Luis Diaz is a talent, Matt, is he the type of player we actually need? Because dare I say it, his best position is from the left, and we very, very rarely see him playing from the right. And could it disrupt our balance, given that he's a right-footed player playing on the right-hand side?
That's a really good question. From what I've seen of Luis Diaz, he does play better on the left because he is one of those inverted wingers as you get in today's game where they'll play on the left-hand side, cutting on the strongest side. So I think he's best played there. Not only he can't play on the right, but I just think he would work better on the left. And as you said, we've kind of got 2 players that can play there of a high level. That's Jota and Mane. Now, I know Jota's been played through the middle as things stand, but that's mainly because of injuries. I think if Firmino was fit, they probably would rotate. And I think Jota would probably rotate on the left as well. So he'd rotate on the left and for the centre. And that's only because of the lack of bodies that we do have. However, if you flip it and you said, okay, as much as I think Luis Diaz is a good player, I would still go for Rafinha because I think Rafinha playing on the right hand side, although I know he can play 10, but for me, he's a much better out wide person, isn't it? Like from what I've seen, and I've seen Leeds play him there before, like on a game where he plays as the 10. He can play there, but I think he's just more of a winger that can cut inside, create havoc, and he likes that inside right channel that Salah likes. And not only that, I know recently it's kind of been talked about he will be a hard person to get, and even Luis Diaz because he's got a release clause of about 70 million euros or something like that. And I think Porto, they will be reluctant to sell. But I just want to read a few quotes from Fabrizio on Rafinha. So Fabrizio said this.
Right, man's
Liverpool...
made this the Rafinha thing, bro.
No.
I'm just winding you up.
So Fabrizio said Liverpool wanted Rafinha last summer. He was one of their targets. They wanted to sign a winger, but it was impossible to sign him because Leeds wanted to keep him and the price was too high. It was more than 60 million. He goes, I think the player is very special. So if Liverpool want to decide to go big for a winger in the summer, he could be one of the names. The boy wants to be a top level. It's going to be an open race, but Liverpool are keeping an eye on this boy for a long time. Now, obviously, we kind of already knew that there was interest there. Obviously, they share the same agent. But I also think with Leeds' position as well, like they're not doing very well. And Leeds' bargaining position was obviously weakened considering how they're not having a good season. So if you look at who would be more expensive, it probably still would be Rafinha. But for me personally, I would still rather want him over Diaz. And that's not discrediting Diaz because I think Diaz has had a good season. But I think Rafinha's sort of like expertise in the Premier League, won't have to adapt too tough. He knows the boys already. Might be a bit easier. However, if you can't get him, I'm not going to cry if we sign Diaz because I think he's a good player. My only problem is that, as you said, we're kind of overloading the left-hand side. And I think by doing that, you kind of would have to kind of shoehorn Jota into that central striker role with Firmino. Because I think if you get Diaz would have to rotate with Mane or whatever. They fight for that position. And Jota would have to fight for the centre-forward position. Or even the right-hand side, although I think he plays better from the left. So I'll let you guys decide.
Can I caveat, though, with... Even though I think Jota from the left is perfect, because I think that's his best position, I still think Diaz is a better left winger than Jota, the way we want to play with the pace.
Based on what? Because he's just a bit more electric.
Because he almost emulates Mane. And one of the things, even though we know it's not real, is that everyone goes, oh, Mane doesn't beat the player anymore, and rare, and all that stuff that people moan about because obviously he's changed up his game and evolved. But Diaz goes back to 2 or 3 seasons ago when Mane did play in that way and just always beat the player and got down the outside or came inside and had shots. So Diaz kind of goes back into that way of playing. So if we want to start doing that kind of high kind of like counter or even counter attacking with pace, like how we kind of have done over the years, Diaz means we can go back to doing that. And then you can maybe have games where you're like, right, we'll play Mane for this way because we want to do this. But against this team, let's play Diaz because we can do this. And Diaz opens up that avenue a bit more. And then Jota maybe can go central, even though he's not great from central in comparison to the left. I don't feel like it's a problem playing him central if it's because we've now got a quality player that now plays left.
But what if I said to you this? No, what you're saying, I don't even disagree with, but you see, Jota, I think what you see when you talk about skill set, I think Luis Diaz is more explosive, and you're right, he can beat his man a lot easier than Jota. But I think Jota's like movement, like kind of like off the ball, is like second to none. And I think that's what makes Jota special. Because remember, Jota's not the greatest at beating his man. He can beat his man, but he can't beat his man, in my opinion, as easy as Salah or Mane. He has to work that a little bit harder because he doesn't have the explosiveness. But I think his movement off the ball. So what I love about Jota, even when he plays for the centre or off the left, someone will have the ball and Jota's movement instinctively is to go into that open space where the winger's occupying that defender, and he will find somewhere in the inside pocket and attack that. And that's what I love about Jota. I think if we get Diaz, you'll be asking him to acclimatize, and I'm not saying he can't, by the way, acclimatize. And not only that, it's in the Prem, you're not going to get the same amount of space. And that's why I kind of was leaning more towards Raf, because Raf knows what it's like to play for a team in the Prem where you get doubled up on week in, week out, and you still got to produce your goods. obviously I think the judgment is out there for Diaz, although I think he's a very good player, and I think whoever gets him is it's a process. But if we get MRB, cool. But my preference would be try and go for the right hand side and Raf. That's what I will say. But I rate Diaz though. I do think he's good.
So that's where I kind of sit on the situation. So again, I rate Diaz. I really do. I think he's a top player, especially Drift. After you kind of convinced me to watch him a bit more and stuff like that, I've been able to watch him on BT Sport a little bit more and all that. Very good player. My problem is though, I think we're set for that left hand side. Like Mane and Jota, honestly, I wouldn't swap them two for the world. Like, I'm so happy with them two being the two players that compete for that side. I don't want to rock that boat. I'm so happy with it. I need that right hand side because, again, like I love Elliot. I don't want to see Elliot played out there on the right hand side for Liverpool. Minamino, I don't want to see him played out there. Origi, don't want to see him played out there. Firmino can't play out there. Salah's the best in the world in that position. I get it. Anyone who comes in knows they've got probably the hardest battle on their hands to displace a player from our starting 11, barring Kelleher or a centre-back displacing Van Dijk. But it is what it is. We've got the best in the world in that position. But I need that side sorted. But I want that balance. Us having a left-footed player on that side and a right-footed player on the other side opens up so many avenues for us. Hence why I've been so on Neto or Rafinha, because not only can they play from that side brilliantly, they can also play on their traditional natural side brilliantly as well. So if we ever were in a situation where we were to get a Vlahovic or a Haaland type player, we could revert to type and play Neto or Rafinha on the left-hand side, Jota on the right as well, and have them playing on their strong side and crossing the ball in, as opposed to it just being Trent and Robbo/Tsimikas. That's where I stand.
Do you think Neto's good on the right, Cal?
On the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I predominantly saw Neto playing down the left.
No, he did both.
Are you sure that wasn't just filling games? I'm sure his natural position for Wolves was left wing.
No, so him and Traore used to play.
I'm trying to think, yeah.
And a lot of the time they would
Traore was always on the right. He never plays on the left.
Sometimes Traore went through the middle for them as well. And remember,
I don't really remember ever seeing Jota. Obviously, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just never remember seeing Neto play off the right. If I'm being honest,
maybe
if I remember,
maybe last season not as much, but he plays a lot on the right. He plays both.
If I remember, Neto would start on the left and Adamo was on the right, and they used to switch in game. And I'd be like, right, Neto's gone to the right. Because funny enough, the game they played us, where I'm sure you've seen the videos where you saw Neto versus Joe Gomez, like running for the ball. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but basically Neto's bursting through, and Joe Gomez has to double clutch, and that's in the inside right channel.
Yeah,
not. So he wasn't on the left; he was actually on the right, and that's what they do. I remember back then they was swapping between the two during the game. Adamo would just suddenly just switch to the left, and Neto would go right. So, and I've seen Neto play there, and he's comfortable with it. He can do the inverted winging thing, or he can go byline. And I've seen Raf do it for Leeds. I'm not trying to say Luis Diaz can't do it. It's just that I've probably seen him more predominantly, if I have seen him, on that left-hand side for Porto, and what a goal we scored the other day. But yeah, no, he's a talent though. The thing is, if you could get any one of these players for a reasonable price, I don't think any of us will be arguing, because I think they're all good players. I think we may have preferences, but because we know how we operate, it's one of those things where you got to get your bang for your buck, and it's like that's why we kind of have to was trying to be so precise. So I know Cal will always be Neto, I'll always be Raf, and you'll probably always be, I don't know, like St. Max, I'm guessing, is maybe your number one, Drift, or is it Neto? I can't remember who you're.
I've given up on that now. Newcastle have money, because I know.
I remember.
There's no point in that. Was when the plan was Newcastle obviously can't.
Let's raid them.
Yeah, they can't haggle with us. Let's just go and get my guy. Now they've got the owners. Even if they got relegated, they're not letting him go. Do you get what I mean? So there's no point even. Yeah. He is going to be their pin-up boy talisman for the new regime. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
definitely.
Yeah,
he already is. He already is.
Yeah, he is. So they're obviously gonna So I've given up on the Max thing, but yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, if you lot are talking about the right hand side, then we've got to talk about my newest acquisition to the Drifty School of Scouting. It's Anthony. If you don't want it to just be a
Diaby.
right-sided player,
I'll go on better, Christian Nkunku, but he kind of plays anywhere.
Musa Diaby.
I'm an Nkunku
so
guy,
now
you know.
we've all got a different right-sided
Yeah,
guy now.
Nkunku.
as
No.
well.
For me.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear for everyone, and this is for the people in the back. Neto is my guy.
No. We know.
Yeah, Neto is my guy, but if I had to settle on someone else, it would be Musa Diaby.
I might be back on that Neto train if he recovers, Cal, because I was a Neto guy, but I'm worried about that injury. I can't lie.
Nah, he's cool.
I'm worried about that
Diaby's
injury.
good though. Diaby's good. I like him.
But I do like the look of Anthony. The only worry I have with Ajax players, especially under Ten Hag, is they leave and they don't really look the same without him.
Because they grow into the system, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they come out their comfort zone as well. That's the bit where it's like.
So I'm not, now they said I got a side girl, you know.
No, but just notice though, Cal, you didn't show no love for Nkunku though. Still, I see you side with the Anthony thing, but where's Nkunku love?
No, because I rate Nkunku, but I want a left-footed player on that side.
Oh, okay. Fair, you were inverted.
Yeah.
Do you yourself like Anthony though, man?
That's what I wanted to see.
Anthony, I can't like Anthony. He's a what? Do you know what I was saying? You know, if it was playing before it was called Football Manager, so for the real man them that know, it was called Championship Manager. Anthony will be a wonder kid where you just go to, when you just scout, man, you just see 20s.
Before you do anything, you just put the bid in, like I used to do for Saviola.
Reyes.
Trust me.
Man, no, before you do anything, everyone just puts their Saviola bid in. Like,
to be honest, I do think Diaby is better than Anthony.
You do say that again, bro?
Why say that though?
I think he's a better finisher. I think he's more direct, and I think he's better on his weaker foot. I think he may even have a better cross, and I think he's more versatile because he can play on the left as well. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he might be slightly younger. I'm guessing that one though, but I think he might be slightly younger.
I think Anthony's younger. I would say from a technical point of view, I think Anthony's better technically, but I think Diaby's more athletic. I think if you talk about finishing, probably Diaby. If you're talking about like first touch and dribbling, I would slightly go Anthony because Anthony's close control is mad. Like his ball retention is fake, but Diaby's is sick as well. Do you know what? It's one of them things where it's like, if we was to get either of them, I think the fan base will be happy. The fan base will be happy because we're upgrading on what we already have, and I just think we kind of got this summer or this January, we have to be kind of shrewd. We can't just rely on the same players that we have. They're doing extremely well, by the way. I'm not discrediting none of them because we're third in the table, 2 points off the top. City only 1 point ahead of us. We're doing sensational, but there's got to be a time where you enter the market and you go, do you know what? We have to get something here. Yeah. Excuse me. Now's the time to strike. Like we got to do something. So,
and he's got more swag. That's why
I know, but that's your type. That's your type of guy, Drift. I get
Drift like the guys where the socks are mad low, and you can just see little
I'm not gonna lie, that's me. Like the dyed hair, socks down, that he makes football fun. That's what I like. I like that shit.
Fun for me is winning still.
But you can win. Me. Imagine if every week we got to watch people get sat down, like molded against City and Watford. Because Anthony's the type of guy that would do that every week, bro. You get what I mean? I like that shit, bro.
Yeah, but I just need to see it happen, and I need to see end product as well, though. Because we've seen Bear Man that can sit a man down, and then the next part. Well, we see Pepe do it every week, pretty much when he plays for Arsenal. He sits a man down.
No, but he's not sitting down, people.
He sits man down still. Pepe's got feet, but that's all he's got.
He's got feet, but that's the thing. Pepe. This is one thing I would say about Pepe. No disrespect.
Lepe's got just feet.
Yeah, he's got technical ability, but it's okay. You got to have more
good dribbling ability.
No. He's got good technical ability because when I say that, he's got good first touch. He can dribble, ball retention. But what it is, though, Cal, and we all know this, even as playing at whatever level you play at, yeah? In your mind, when you're playing the game, you've got to have an end game. You can't just get the ball and just do a whole mazza and don't even know what the point was. Like, you've got to have this vision in your head. That's how you play football. Well, that's how I play it anyway. Don't get me wrong. you're doing things instinctively. But I'm sure when Drift was being played through in when he was rapid, like badding up the guys there with his rapid pace, yeah. He obviously already thought, do you know what I'm gonna do though? Once I get running in the channel, I'm gonna cut inside and smash it in. Like, and even you, Cal, when you get the ball, you're probably thinking, oh, when I get the ball, I already know the left winger's gonna be going to that side. I need to give him the Diaz quick things.
You see me play football, you'll rarely see me throwing up step overs and all
No,
that.
not a step over, but you'll get the ball and you might just distribute it fast,
That's me, bro.
Yeah, but you guys know what I mean. You have an end game in your head, like you can't just do bare madness and then.
Like, I can imagine you and Drift getting the ball and Dubs in the man. That's not me. I'll only dribble past the man if I don't know about that. Dribbling past the man for me is the last option. It's can I get a little 1-2 and can I just thread it to someone? That's me. Like, I'm as real as.
For a minute, I thought you just called yourself Fred, but I didn't say you said Fred it to someone.
I'm all about self-love still. I'm all about self-love. I ain't gonna do that to myself. I'm all about self-love.
No, I was a step over, man. I wasn't skillful, but I was a step over, man. I'll show you the step over, and then I'm just gone. That's it. Like, it was like pace and step over.
Didn't have time for that. For real.
Yeah. I didn't have time for skills. I was just like,
I was that guy.
Step over. And I used to like finishing right by the goalie because it's not a myth. It works. If you hit the ball close to the goalie, he can't figure out hands or feet quick enough that it goes in. Like, it's actually like a real good technique to like use like a yard either side of his feet. That's where you finish it. So when you're in on goal, people think put it as wide as possible. You actually give the goalie a better chance of making a save the wider you put it. So you just put it right where his legs are. So it's like, oh shit, do you know what I mean? He doesn't really know how to, like, because he wants to go with his hands. All goalkeepers, when they're ready, they're thinking, when am I going to make the save with my hands? And you just put it down where their legs are. And they're like, oh. That's why David De Gea is such a good goalie, because he actually always remembers to use his feet. Yeah.
Makes a difference. Gonna read out some super chats, Drift. Give me a sec. Mr. Cat Sander says, thoughts on Kara's reply to Rio. Interesting. Have you seen a little narrative and back and forth?
Yeah. Rio talking again. Come on.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll say that's all I'll say.
Basically, Rio did the thing that we spoke about the other day where we were like, I don't like when a pundit will think because they've been a professional that you don't know what you're talking about and they're better than you. And because he's won the league and Carragher hasn't, he literally did that same thing, but even at someone who still played at the highest level. It was like, we don't know what it's like to win the league, so I just switch off when you talk. It's like, come on, Rio, man. That's just rude.
Here's the thing. Does he do that with Alan Shearer and them, man, then as well? Because they never won a championship.
Well, then basically, yeah, he can't really turn around and say he doesn't, can he?
And again, I love Rio. Before anyone clips this and does the madness with it, I love Rio to bits, innit? But what if Cara turned around and said, look how you ended your career? Everyone would be like, "Raw, why's this?" But... Well,
Carragher kind of did.
Oh, okay.
Because not in the way you're doing it, but he went, well, you didn't win a trophy when you weren't under Ferguson.
Yeah,
you didn't win a trophy. So does that mean that you don't know anything, whatever, because of that or whatever? So yeah, it's one of them things where you there's banter, but then there's like he'll come out and call it banter, but I think he genuinely was trying to be shady. And now maybe it's backfired a little bit.
Carragher's not a man you could be shady with. He will bite. He will bite. Like we saw, Carragher's like that as a player. He's definitely like that as a person. Like Carragher don't play that. Musa says, "Okay, guys, don't panic. Juve are under investigation again and could be relegated to Serie B if guilty of fraud on recent transfers." Oh, there's a surprise. I never thought that would happen again. Hashtag Chiesa. They'll need the P. We'll speak about Chiesa. We will speak about Chiesa.
Guys, don't get too excited. That would just mean Chiesa's going Chelsea. That's all it will mean.
All right, we've spoken about Chiesa. That's what I was going to say. Victor says, did you guys forget about Harvey Elliott? No, never forget about Harvey, but I don't want to see him play on the right-hand side. I think we've seen Harvey in the middle, and we know that's his position for Liverpool Football Club. Like that's the guy for that position.
He don't have the pace to play wide, I don't think.
Agreed. Baby Assassin says Chiesa to Chelsea, gaining weight, 85 mil apparently.
I told you he's gonna go Chelsea, man, because they're gonna get rid of Timo. there's a lot of talk. They're already willing to just cash in on Timo. They're gonna sell Timo and they'll buy Chiesa.
If they're smart, they should cash in on Timo now. If they're smart,
because his price tag's going down and down and down.
Precisely. And Chiesa is a massive upgrade. Chiesa walks in to Chelsea's team on that left-hand side. Someone's got a whole bench for him. Like it's
doesn't he normally play on the right?
He can play both.
Okay.
But I think he plays a lot from the left for Juve, if I'm not mistaken. But him on the left, Lukaku through the middle, and then whoever on the right. Like
when he plays for Italy, he plays on the right, Chiesa, don't he?
He plays both.
And the other day when I saw him play, when they beat Chelsea, he was on the right. Yeah, so the only times I've ever seen him play is on the right. But obviously, like if he plays on the left, then that's cool. But I think every time I've watched Chiesa, he's been on the right. So yeah, he's one of them players. I guess he can do what he wants either side. I guess
Chiesa's cold. Big fan of Chiesa. Jamrock says, "I'll pass on Rafinha. We need a starter in the summer." All right, Jamrock, I'm gonna come back to you with a question on that. Who do you get to rotate with Salah? Because I'm not even trying to be smart when I ask that, because I just genuinely want to know where your head's at with that one. Because I think you've got to go for an understudy, because no one's coming in and putting Salah on the bench, in my opinion. Not even the Messis and Neymars of this world. They're just not. He's that good on that in our system on that side of the pitch. So I'd love to see where your head's at with that one. Kezi says, and Nkunku would be it. RB connections as well. Yeah. Only for the midfielder. I wouldn't want to see him playing as a winger for us in our system. But Matt's probably the most educated to speak on Nkunku, to be honest.
Yeah, surely. Just quickly, bro. When they beat them in the first game, I know Chelsea obviously smoked Juve the other day, but remember, Juve beat them in the first group game that they played. Was it 1-0? I think it was. They beat them in it.
No, it's 2, I think.
Was it 2? Was it 2? No, I thought it was 1.
It was 1-0. Sorry, I think you are right.
Yeah.
I think it was 1-0.
Yeah, Chiesa was playing on the right in that game. I remember because he was the one who scored the goal, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he did, didn't it? Yeah.
Flintoff says Minamino's Rafinha swap deal. Just want to use this platform to spread awareness. oh no, this is something serious. Just want to use this platform to help spread awareness for the 12-year-old girl who got stabbed in Liverpool. RIP indeed. I think her name was Abby, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, rest in peace to Abby, and thoughts and prayers with her family as well. And look, the whole knife crime, I'm not even going to go on a tangent, the whole knife crime thing, people, man, kids, if you're any kids watching, any adults watching, anyone, put the knives down, man. Have a scrap. You both live to tell the tale. Put the knives down. It ain't worth it, man. It's not worth it.
Even the beef ain't worth it, to be honest with you, bro.
It's not. We know that being older, though. So I'm not going to spread that narrative, because they've kind of got to learn that for themselves. But the knife thing, it's not worth it in the slightest, people. It's not worth it. Don't make you tough. Don't make you strong. It don't help your life. Simple as. Jamrock says starter would be up top and rotate Jota between the wings. Maybe. I would like natural players in each position, but I see where you're coming from. Khaled says Emmanuel Dennis has 5 goals. What do you think? Again, I just think he's good. I don't think he's Liverpool level. I just think he's a good player.
Is that the Watford player?
Yeah.
Has he got 5 goals and 5 assists? Raw. I didn't even realize he was doing that well. He's definitely not Liverpool quality, though, but he's done. That's fair play. 10 goal contributions in 13 games. That's all right still.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Geordie T says, lads, check out Guri as a Bobby replacement. Sorry, Cal, love heart. You're not sorry, man. He's only 21 and has 8 goals, 4 assists in 15 games this season. Has very similar style of play. Got a shout out to Avi, who constantly appears on Grizz Khan TV. He's been telling me about Guri for a long time, or Guri, I believe it is. I've never sat down and watched him play, so you guys are more experts on him than I am. Jamrock says we need to be in for Chiesa and or the Ritz sweepstakes, 2 top quality players. It's funny, we were speaking about Ritz in the WhatsApp group we've got with KG and George and everyone, and like he's a top quality player, but you can imagine him going to Bayern being in Germany and being a young player in Germany. You can imagine him going Bayern. Flintoff says a right wing is sticky. No one else comes close to Salah's level. It is probably it's the hardest position to buy for in our squad, I think. Don't know if you agree or not, Drift.
Probably, but you've got to try and find a way though, because you can't not have cover for it. You know, what
agree.
I mean?
Gonna throw a proposition at you in a second, see where your head's at with it, Drift. Ash says, don't sleep on Julian Alvarez from River Plate, but I think Nkuku's made for us. Klopp DNA in him, just for vibes. I want Anthony. That's what Drift's been saying. LFT Sports TV says, ain't gonna lie, Neto would be nice. Big up Kop-Ish, big up yourself, LFT Sports TV. Promo says, Ajax players sold in recent seasons haven't hit the next level, including players like De Jong, De Ligt, Ziyech, etc. Also, Premier League flop Haller is shining there. That's a fair point as well. Forgot about Sebastian Haller. Looks sensational over there, and obviously we saw him in the Premier League, and
some players just don't like the Prem.
Yeah, very true. Doesn't make them bad players.
Doesn't. Like Diego Forlan is the perfect example. But he was an absolute world beater, bro. But Man United, he looked like the worst striker you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, facts. I just think he was at that club at the wrong time in his career. I think if he'd moved there in a different time of his career, we'd have seen the real Forlan. But I just think he went at the wrong time.
He was doing well before he went there, though. So I just think it was just the Premier League, bro. I just don't think he liked the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Very true. Bogdan says Rafinha because of the option to play as a midfielder. It's a good shout as well. A couple of you in the comments have mentioned him. Drift, Dembele is available for free at the end of the season, but obviously we're thinking about January. Would you take Dembele on loan until the end of the season, which helps Barcelona because it covers some of his wages? We won't pay all of his wages, I presume, but we pay some of it. And that way we could use it as a gauge to see whether we can actually, it's low risk, high reward for us effectively. Would you do it?
Bob, you say high risk, low risk, high reward, but would you buy a three-legged chair that was propped up against the wall?
No.
Because while it's propped up against the wall, it's standing up, bro. But as soon as you move it, it's gonna collapse, bro.
Yeah, I have no rebuttal, Drift. I have no rebuttal.
I've got to take my mind out of who he used to be and just actually accept him for who he is. Dembele is done. Them hamstrings.
Demo said you'd rather have me than Dembele. You wouldn't, bro. You wouldn't, trust me. Injured Dembele.
Them hamstrings are done. They're done. Like it's so. Like I feel bad for him, man. Like,
do you think it's a case of Barca rushing him back, maybe?
Yeah, but they're just making it worse and worse and worse, isn't it, bro? You know what I mean? Like, you know when you're making dumplings, yeah, and you know when you're kneading the thing, you know when you pull it apart to make your single one.
Yeah.
Imagine if every time you did that, you kept trying to put it back and doing it again. Eventually, it's just going to be brittle, bro. Do you know what I mean? That's what his hamstrings are like now, bro. Like, I feel bad for him, bro. Like, I really, really do feel bad for him. You know what I mean? Because hamstring injuries seem to be the reason why a lot of players who are world class get, like kind of. I remember even Torres to a degree it happened to after his hamstrings kept going. Owen, like you just get these players, and then once them hamstrings just start going, it's just done. Yeah, brother. And especially when that player was like rapid.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think slow players even mash up their hamstrings really, because you're not even really like.
Millie does, to be fair.
I mean this with no disrespect to anybody who's slow, but. Can you pull a hamstring running slowly?
Yeah, you can. It's
about. I don't even think Milner's that slow, bro. If I'm being honest, I think Milner's still kind of quick. He might not be like able to catch like Zaha and people like that, but like he's not exactly a slouch. Like if you're Per Mertesacker, can you pull a hamstring?
Yeah, he can. It's very unlikely. Very unlikely.
Like Hoopier, did Hoopier ever get any hamstring injuries?
It's a case of you're exerting your body beyond what it should be doing, isn't it? It just happens more with faster players because they're fast twitch fibers and stuff. There's more risk at play, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
FPL Skills says Rafinha's best cover fit cover fits Klopp's style and Prem experience. Again, I hear where everyone's coming from. Like Rafinha for me would be a fantastic signing. Neto's obviously my first choice, but if you said to me we signing Rafinha, you'd see me doing up Samba and all them things. It'd be like I'd be over the moon. I'd be over the moon. But we are going to move topics now. So Drift. Beginning of the season, we all said we've got the best centre back in the world, but we don't know how he's going to come back as a player. Couple of games into the season, he looked a little shaky. I remember the first game against Norwich. It looked like he exerted himself and kind of just took the game as it came. Then the Chelsea game came where it was like him versus Lukaku. There was a bit of worries there. Chelsea went down to 10 men. Plus, even when they had 11 men, Lukaku never really gave many problems. Then we saw a few games like the Brentford game and like a few other games where he's kind of, was off the pace a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then we come to the game that we've just played against Southampton. Now, granted, Southampton are Southampton and they're not the team that they used to be with all the players that they've lost and everything else that's going on. However, he looked absolutely fantastic in that game. Do you think we are now seeing Virgil van Dijk getting back to the peak of his powers? And the reason why I asked this is because the last bad injury he had was before we signed him at Liverpool. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he did his Achilles or his ankle. And he was out from like the February and made his return in like maybe the September. And then obviously we signed him in the January. And I remember when he made his return from the September to the sort of December, a lot of Liverpool fans were like, I don't want him. He's finished. You look at him. He's not the same. We ain't going to spend, I don't want to spend 50 mil on this. Obviously, we fast forward and those fans were proven wrong and he's the best in the world. Do you think he's back to his best now, Drift?
I'm very reluctant to put my mouth on it and jinx it and all that. You don't know what I'm like. But I definitely think the last couple of games have eased the worries I had myself, because I made no secret of how worried I was about Van Dijk. He didn't look himself. And I feel like it was more mentally that I was worried about, not even just physically, because I felt like he himself didn't feel like he was the man anymore. And everybody else felt like they could get at him, like his fear factor kind of went. And that was the thing that was worrying me. Like a lot of players went into that tunnel and felt like there was, like, remember Troy Deeney, who's obviously not an elite level baller, but he's still a Premier League goal scorer. And remember, he himself was like, when you're in the tunnel, you kind of look at him and just think, well, I'm not going to score today. And like you feel a bit defeated before the game's even kicked off. And that fear factor was what probably won us a lot of our games. And I felt like that went. And I'm not even going to act like, it's back or whatever. But I do think the last one or two games, he's kind of slowly showing people like, yeah, like I'll be all right in it. Don't worry, guys. I'll be all right. And as long as that's the case, then I'm all here for it, because the man's not even fully fit and he's still the best. So like if he gets back to being the best, then obviously, you know what I mean, it is what it is. Like with a fully fit Virgil playing and being in form, I feel like it gives you an extra 25% chance of winning whatever trophy you're trying to win. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know that we had a lot of injuries last season, and I know Matip and Gomez being injured was a massive blow. But there's still a part of me that feels like if you went and redid last season, but the only injury that didn't happen was Virgil, there's a possibility we still compete all the way to the end for the title. There is. I'm not saying we would have won it, but there's a big possibility that we may have. Like I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, if you put Fabinho back in midfield and you bring in Reece or you bring in Nat and they're playing next to Virgil, we're probably not even that bothered. Like I think Phillips and Virgil probably could have won us a title. Do you get what I mean? Like if you think about the fact that, all right, let me put it like this: we're at the top of the league at Christmas, right? If Virgil wasn't injured and we redo the part where it all fell down, where Matip got his injury and all that, and then it really just fell to shit in January, right?
Yeah.
If we redo it, go back to being top of the league at Christmas, but we've got Virgil, We don't lose 6 games in a row at home. That's for damn sure. And to be honest, I think we probably do win at least 4 of those 6 games. Because Chelsea and City were the only 2 games you could possibly say, well, you may still lose that game. But we beat Burnley, we beat Brighton, we beat Fulham. Or like, you know, those games, you're like, how the fuck did we lose that game?
Yeah.
And I calculated that winning the 4 games that we lost and drawing to Chelsea and City, you know, not even beating them, just drawing to them, we win the league by 1 point.
Yeah.
Literally, those 6 defeats lost us the title. Effectively, because that was how many points we finished behind City. So if you think about it like that, we can win the league with Virgil last year, playing with Nat. We can. We don't go and have that horrendous game against Real Madrid in the Champions League. We don't. Not with Virgil at the back. They don't do what they did to us in that game with Virgil at the back. Do you get what I mean? I think Nat and Virgil, we can still put up a title challenge. So that's how important I believe that Van Dijk is to us. So if he can regain the form and get back to how he was, man, then we're back to being that team again, innit? I'll probably say he's about 80% though, bro. If I'm being completely, I'll say he's about 80% back to being the Virg that I felt was invincible.
Yeah, I think he's about 90% there. Matt, where do you think Virgil is as a percentage, and also do you think he can go up a level from here?
He's not 100%, still not yet. I would say he's about 85. I think he's still got a bit more in the tank. And I remember at the start of the season, I was like, November. Then I kind of said January. I'm sticking with January. I think that's when we'll see the best of Virgil van Dijk. I think he can go up a gear again. Because even though like he's looked, especially like phenomenal in his last game, there's other games maybe where not throughout the 90 minutes, but for about 70, 65, or maybe even 80, you can see like he's kind of like nearly back to his best. And I think what it is as well is that people are testing him a bit more so as well, knowing he's had the injury. So people aren't as afraid. But I think the more he puts on a clinic, like I put on the other day, the more is when people will start to do the whole, I ain't even going on that side. You see that side there with Virgil and Robbo or Simicast? I'm not even going to venture there. So I think that fear factor comes back. I think we'll see the best of Virgil van Dijk in January. And yes, he's got another level to go. He's not there yet. I think he even said himself, he's not there yet. And I think anyone that kind of thought that he was just going to come back and be the same Virgil van Dijk straight away, you're asking a lot. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you're asking too much.
Being unrealistic.
Yeah. So it's only natural that he's going to take time. And if we see the best of him in January, like how I'm predicting, then all the more for it, man.
Yeah, indeed. We are going to speak about one of his potential centre-back partners. But before we do, just got a quick advert to show you guys.
Hi guys, by now you'd have seen our merch store and you're familiar with it. But hold on, what's that, Christmas stuff? Oh, hold on a sec. Merry Kloppmas, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies for men, women and children. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Oh, look at the detail on that. But wait, hold on. There's more. Jingle. No, not jingle bells. It's Jurgen bells. Look at the Christmas tree with the trophies underneath it. Snapbacks. You know how it is. You've seen the snaps that before. Oh, it's a red one. It's a red one as well. Guys, you know what to do. Click the link in the description. Head over to our merch store and get your stuff now. Let's go.
So people, visit the link in the description. Get your Christmas merch ASAP, people. Do that today.
My favourite part of that ad is there's a red one.
No, for me, my favourite part is and let's go. It's the whispering.
Man, like Shawnee knows already. Man, like Shawnee knows. That was exactly what I had in my head when I did it. Man knows. Anyone who knows about the Friday.
All right. The next talking topic, Joe Gomez. So obviously Gomez is injured at the moment, but again, he's another player that came back from a horrific injury, and not the first in his career, unfortunately, either. But he's barely played this season. In fact, he's the only player in defence that's had less minutes than him this season is Nat Phillips. he's been linked to a potential move to Aston Villa. Now, again, I don't think there's much in this, but again, because Gerrard's there, a lot of our players will probably start being linked to Villa. And they have got wealthy owners as well, so it's not like they're short on money. They've been linked with a loan move for Joe Gomez in January. Firstly, go on, Matt.
No, that's going to say I need to get stuck into this one. This one kind of
go on. No, take the floor. Go true, bro.
Let me say this, yeah. First and foremost, if this is really the truth and Gerrard really does want Joe Gomez, yeah, I can't even front. As much as I love Stevie, it's going to be a thing of, right, this man's really taking the Villa job seriously because he's willing to like kind of go into the Lions den, take out one of the Cubs.
It's loan. It's on loan.
No. Listen, loan or not, he knows we need Joe Gomez. He's been in the trenches, yeah. He knows our system. He knows how we play. He knows we need all 4 centre backs, yeah. What I'm saying is, man's willing to go to the Lions den and take out one of the Cubs, yeah, and he's willing to get rushed for it. I can't even lie. First of all, that's a bold move. That's a big man-ting move. But not only that, I'll just also say, bro, like, we need you at Liverpool. Don't be cherry-picking some of our players who you kind of know is that they're sick and you can use them for now. Because what happens when you come back to us eventually and Joe Gomez is on a 28-year contract, yeah? So just make sure you do the right thing. But all jokes aside, I'll say this. It worries me, not just because of Villa, it's because I've heard these rumblings already, potentially about Joe Gomez wanting to get like more first-team football. And you can't even disagree that he wants to play.
I said Rafa's doing God's work, you know. We'll know more on Wednesday about what Rafa's intentions.
We're gonna try that up tomorrow as well. But all jokes aside, I'm kind of worried because when you are Joe Gomez, you're probably thinking, right, like I want to play. There's been times when he's been fully fit. Obviously, Matip has been ahead of him, maybe Ibu as well. And even when he did play, he didn't have the best of showings. But we know what Joe Gomez can bring to the table. For me, he's a top 5 centre back in the league when he is fully fit and on form. He's a top 5 centre back, easy for me.
All right.
So this
different question. Oh, sorry, man.
No, just end it. So this Villa thing worries me. Do I think he will go? No, but I think we should also think in the back of our minds that if Joe Gomez plays the least amount of football out of all the centre backs we've got this season, then maybe come summertime we might have to be slightly a bit more worried than what we thought. I'll leave it there.
Fair enough. Look at Lou now. Happy birthday. We're going to drop the beat for you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Promo says, I would take Konza over Gomez. Not going to lie. Gomez is poor in the air. Going to come back to that one. Jamrock says, what's happening to Gomez is a downside of a big squad. All right. So, Drift, the question I've got for you now is off the back of what Jamrock says. Now, again, he's injured at the moment. So I do think we would have actually seen Gomez in the past couple of games potentially in some capacity, but he's injured at the moment. But as Jamrock says, we have got a big squad when it comes to defenders. And then again, when you look at from Villa's side, one, is he a guaranteed starter at Villa? Not is he better than Konza and Mings, but is he a guaranteed starter? And then 2, looking at it from Gomez's situation, he's out of the England squad and he doesn't look like he's getting back in anytime soon. Does he have to make a decision for himself as opposed to what's best for Liverpool? And then also, if we have still got Nat and we keep Nat, we still have 4 centre backs. Are you happy with that?
First of all, we got Mrs. Rottweiler. Let's drop the beat first. Her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday,
Happy birthday, man.
Come on. Happy birthday, Miss Rottweiler.
Happy birthday, man.
I don't. Bruv, I don't even want to be rude, but like, I care about Liverpool, not your career, innit? So it's more important to me. It's more important to me that you're here to help the cause than your plight to play in the World Cup. And I get it. Like, Gomez is the best English centre back if he's fit and playing. So I get it. He should be going. But bro, I can't have a situation where Liverpool are out on our feet for some reason because we put sentiment ahead of. Do you get what I mean? I'm not for that, bro. I'm not for that. Like he needs to be here. We need to go and win the Carabao Cup. We need to try and win the FA Cup. We're gonna need to rotate during certain things, whatever. Like I don't, like I said, I don't mean it. And you lot know Gomez is one of my favorite players, so I'm not saying it to be rude for the sake of being rude. Like, I don't care about your individual feelings in this moment, because individual feelings might end up making last season happen again or something. Like ain't about that. It ain't about that, man. It's just about fighting and getting back into this team. That's what it's all about. Joe, if every single player in our team was fit and on form and playing to the best of their ability, Gomez and Van Dijk are still the partnership. For me,
debatable. That's debatable.
They're still the partnership.
It's a debate to be had. It's a debate to be had.
Yeah, it is, because Matip's levels. But they're still the partnership for me. They are. And I feel like that's more of the goal that Gomez should have rather than jumping ship. Now, I know it's only on loan, but what if something happens, man? Like, let's be real. I know Stevie wants a little bit of pace, a little bit of inventive lift, someone who's good on the ball and that. That's why he wants him, yeah? But let's keep it a buck. We've got a defender we don't want to get rid of, but does need game time because he's going to get even less than Gomez. So take Nat. Stevie, take Nat.
You don't want him.
Play Nat and Mings. That's a
decent
pairing, bruv.
You don't want him.
That's a decent pairing.
That's not the one he wants, bro.
He wants Joey because he knows that good. Not saying that ain't good, but you know.
If I go into the shop and I'm hoping they've got buy one get one free, and they don't, but they've got 3 for 2, I'm still getting a deal though, bro. So I've got to take it and leave. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you might not have the capacity to even do the 3 for 2. See, that's why you got to get the buy one get one free.
The only way I don't have the capacity, if I was looking to walk home and it's a 12 keg of beer, and now I'm going to get 3 for 2, how am I going to carry it? other than that, yeah, then I just have to get
get an Uber.
Yeah, but maybe my pocket don't have the capacity for an Uber.
Do an Uber share.
You don't have the capacity.
Do an Uber share.
Uber share in this climate.
That's a risk still.
I don't even think you
that's
can.
a risk.
I don't even think you can. I don't even want family next to me. I'm like, but I can feel you, man. Move.
That is a mess.
I've got a shout out to Lakers' daughter, 5 today. I hope she's not watching because of the language that we use.
Yeah, for real.
I'm gonna drop the beat for her regardless. A couple super chats. Shout out to James Anderson. It's been a while, bro. Hope you're well. Says, peace, my G's. Hope you and the family are all blessed. Been a mad one lately, so my bad for not being here for a minute. But you, man, know I'll always be Kop-Ish. Was over in London at the weekend. Whoa, no, Holland. No, right, cool. We see how it is.
Yeah, big up.
I hope you enjoyed London.
Big up yourself, bro.
VVD is 8% in my eyes.
Love, bro.
Going about 90%, but I'm good at 80.
By the way, you never walk alone 19. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. We can't be dropping a beat for a rat. That's a crazy that's a crazy birthday. That's a crazy birthday.
What did he say?
Bro. He said this is Rat's birthday today. Can we drop the beat? Like, that's a crazy birthday.
I think he's just playing about.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. What?
Look, I just want to clear something up. Yeah. I always care about players' feelings. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, you're getting chewed up in the comments.
Yeah. That's fine. But I'm talking about the fact that we can't leave our squad the way it was last season by risking loaning players out just because they're like, I want to play. I want you to fight for your place in this team. That's how you get back on the pitch. You fight for your place in this team. Simple.
Fair dues. A-Spec
Simple, you
Limited
know what I mean?
says Gomez leaving makes no sense, but if he goes, get Fofana. Fofana's out for the season, if I'm not mistaken.
He's out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Fofana's you guys know how much I like Fofana.
probably.
But he's different. He's different. But yeah, he's out, man.
Yeah, that's a big shame for Fofana.
Unfortunately.
I was looking forward to seeing how he developed this season as well.
Same. And I think, do you know what? They desperately need him because they defensively, Leicester have been a bit weird this season. Like they've just, they haven't been the same Leicester.
It hit them the way the Virgil thing hit us. Sometimes people don't actually realize what an effect an injury can have on the rest of the team.
The team,
you know what I'm saying?
No, agreed.
Jamrock says if Gomez wants a chance at the World Cup next year, he'll leave. Again, that's another thing to consider. Like World Cup next year, he's going to want to go.
Do you know what I know something? I agree with what Drift was saying in terms of like, from a selfish Liverpool point of view, in my head, I'm thinking, bro, like, I know there's a World Cup, but like, if you just like knuckle down and work your way into the first team, then the World Cup thing kind of comes with it, right? But at the same time, from the human point of view, I fully get this because he's probably thinking, look how many bad injuries he's had. This is a real chance he has to go to a World Cup and a big tournament. Yeah, everyone's been robbed before him because of the injuries. He's thinking it's either now or never. But I hope Klopp does stand firm and that, listen, Joe, I still believe in you. You literally are a top centre back. All you got to do though is just graft, and you'll be rewarded. I don't want to see the whole, because Klopp does do this every now and again. He does admit when he's like, you know, we have to think about the player and what he wants and also how it affects us. And that is the good and bad thing about Klopp, because he's very, that human side of him, you always see it. Like even when he spoke about Shaqiri, he spoke about Lovren when he was like, Dejan wanted to leave last season, but I couldn't let him go. But I respected what he said, but I said, you can go next season. So Klopp does have that in him. So we have to kind of watch out for that.
Got another super chat here. Shout out to Jamie Phillips Football Chats. Make sure you subscribe to Jamie Phillips Football Chats if you haven't already, people. Gomez's LFC career is over for me. Konate is third choice. We talk about Konate positioning, but Gomez has had the same problem for me.
Disagree with that one, Jamie.
Dinesh says, evening, gentlemen. Callum, did you see your mate Sean Dyche in the snow? I knew someone's going to ask about this. Look, game got cancelled in Burnley. Game got cancelled. We're going to smash Tottenham whenever we play them. We can play them when it's hot. We can play them when it's cold. We're going to smash them anyway. We made it a bit more interesting because we'll have more eyes on the product now. Cornet's going to put them to sleep. You watch. I don't care who Conte is. It's Burnley. No one comes to Burnley and leaves alive. I'll be honest. Unpopular opinion. If Gomez was in English, I could survive if he left and was replaced adequately.
Rotted.
But I am a fan of Gomez and like him.
That was so random. It wasn't even supposed to be gravy. I just didn't know what else to press. I really didn't know what to press. I was like, what do I look for? What am I looking for? I need something that's gonna.
All right, let me ask anybody who's saying let Gomez go. Yeah, and I'm not talking to you.
I didn't say that.
No. I'm talking about the chat. I'm talking about the chat.
Drift. 1 second, just quickly, but I have to say this.
If you're finished 8th in something, did he?
No. If you're saying that about Joe Gomez being English, would you say the same about this man then?
What do you mean? Oh, what? No, but Nat's 5th choice though. There's a difference.
But I kind of feel like the whole English Nat being that hard man kind of works in his favor. Like if he was Spanish and doing that, would you feel the same? Not me, Andrew. If you, I'm asking you.
Oh, what about Nat? I don't care where man comes from. I'm just being real with you. If I need him to do what he does what he does. Like again,
I just want to see
the reason why I said that is because Gomez is not happy being 4th choice.
Yeah,
he's not, is he? So if Gomez wants to leave, the biggest gripe I'll have is that we've got a very good English centre back, and with the whole homegrown thing and knowing how much it is to buy an English player, regardless of their position, that hurts us. Not just losing a centre back, but I think I genuinely think there are other centre backs in world football we can get who are as good or better than Gomez.
Drift, I'll let you finish your point. I'm not even discrediting what Cal said because Cal has a point, but I just want to see what you have to say because I know.
No, we
Well, I
all
don't
know
know about that. I don't know about that. We can get better.
We all know there's man coming to the yard now. Drift we know this. We know this. We know.
Here's the thing, and I'm not even aiming this at Cal. I'm aiming this at everyone in the chat that's just saying like, yeah, let him go, whatever. I want to ask you this question.
Let's go.
All last year, we were like, the main thing we need is a centre back because you have to have 4. Yeah, you have to have cover for both. You need 4 centre backs. And now everyone's like, yeah, let the 4 centre back go. Rare. So who do you bring in who knows he's coming in to be 4th choice? Who do you go and get? Because now we're asking the same question like, who's going to replace Salah? Who can you go and buy? Who's going to, like, we're even lucky we got Konate, for an example, who was coming in as 4th choice effectively when we signed him. We're lucky we managed to pull that off. How many times do you get a guy who's of good quality that's coming in and he knows he's going to be 4th choice? Because don't bring me no 21-year-old prospect, because when he has to play and then if he's not good enough, we're going to be moaning about it. So what I want to, so just to everyone who's saying, yeah, our Gomez, let him go. Like, football recency really clouds a lot of people's opinion when it comes to football. And I try my hardest to never let that be the case for myself. Joe Gomez on form is a proper quality centre-back. Now, he's had his injury problems, but why all of a sudden is everyone willing to start pointing fingers at him about he's bad at this and he's bad at that and he's bad at this and he's bad at that? If he's so bad at all these things, how is he the best partnership we've had with Virgil in the 3.5 years Virgil's been at the club? Like, you've got to explain that to me. Like, I think people are getting carried away with the fact that they haven't seen him for a while. Joe Gomez is quality.
I think it's a little bit disingenuous, Drift, to say he's the best partnership we've had with Virgil because it was a very small sample size, Drift.
But it was 4 or 5 months worth, Cal, so it was long enough to know that it was real.
It wasn't 4 or 5 months.
It was, bruv.
No, it's never been 4 or 5
months they played together.
No, it wasn't, Drift. They've never played together for 4 or 5 months.
Bro, it was a very long run of games they had together. I swear it was something like wasn't it like 15 games or something like that? It was a very long run those two had together as the partnership. 13, yeah, it was long enough for us to know.
It's between 10 and 12 games. It was between 10 and 12 games, but again,
12 games is long enough for me to know whether that partnership is the best.
But you say it's the best, but Drift. How many years ago was that? That was 3 years ago. So it might have been the best then, but does it mean it's the best now?
Yeah, but we're talking about a player who's only like 24. It's not like he's over the hill or something.
Regardless of whether he's that age or not, brothers, he's still the playing player. Dembele's only around that age, but he's not the same player he was 3 years ago.
Yeah, but Dembele's injury.
But and again, let me land. I'm not saying Joe's injuries have depleted him like Dembele's, but I'm saying just because they had that spell then doesn't mean they will have it now. And I do think Matip and Virgil now is the partnership for us. I do.
Yeah, now it is. That's fair. It's fair. That's fair.
And again, remember, even in that season, if I'm not mistaken, Gomez did get injured, and then Lovren came in for a spell. Lovren looked, bro. There was a period where Lovren looked excellent next to Virgil as well.
Yeah, he did.
Virgil raises everyone's level. Virgil raises everyone's level. And again, Gomez is quality. But when you factor in everything, the reason I'm saying if Gomez leaves, I can survive is because I don't think he wants to be 4th choice. If Gomez is happy here being 4th choice, I'm all for it. All for it. But I don't think he is. And if it's 18 games, it wasn't 18 games in a row.
Regardless of what it was, 18 games together and they've been impervious. And for me, that makes them the best partnership we have.
I will say this though, no, 18 games is a good run, but it's not
even half a season.
Yeah, because it's probably all comps. But here's the thing.
Yeah, but have Matip and Van Dijk played that many games in a row together?
Matip and Virgil have probably played more games together than Gomez and Virgil.
No, in a row I'm talking about. Have they played more games together in a row?
I think they have towards the back end of
18. I doubt it.
But towards the back end of 18, 19, it was pretty much Virgil and
Matip. But didn't we realise it ended up only being about 10 games though?
No, because Matip came in, I think
it was
in
more
around...
than that. But even still, they were the hardest
January?
10 games we've had as a club, probably.
And the thing
And
is,
we-
if you don't want to
and
say Matip and Virgil, then I'm cool with it because that is a great partnership. But the
think it's
point I'm
just a debate,
making
to be
is
honest.
people are willing to dash Gomez under the bus. And I feel like it's a bit disingenuous to do that. Like
I
I
don't
do,
think
like
anyone's
everyone's
throwing
saying
it.
I
that
rate
that Gomez is done. I am not willing to give up on Joe Gomez.
Listen, I rate Gomez.
No
and
way.
Dare I say,
I know
apart from
Cal-
Jamie, I don't think
Yeah.
anyone's willing to give up on Gomez. I just think we're looking
No,
at
no,
the
no,
whole
no.
situation. We've got to think about his injuries as well. We speak about having 5 centre backs, but if he's always injured, he's not there.
That is the
I
only argument that I'm willing to have is
No,
that his availability.
we've got to look at his form as well, Drift. Like
No.
his form can be up a bit up and down, but you'd expect that from a youngish defender as well.
It just takes a couple of games to get back into the rhythm, and that happens to a lot of players. Once Gomez has got rhythm, he's not the type of player who just has bad games all the time. Like he takes a little while to get his rhythm,
he has
and
bad
then
games all the time.
Yeah, so really, those games where he's not performing are just when he's trying to find rhythm. Once Gomez finds rhythm, he's just at it. So I don't know, man. I'm not willing to go. If Gomez leaves the club, I'm going to be vexed.
I'll be honest with you. I know, Cal, you kind of said like, if he wasn't English and if he was someone else, to a degree, you wouldn't mind. Or not, let me say that. Basically, you're saying if he was,
I could accept it.
You could accept it. You could live.
But I
with
wouldn't
it,
be happy. I don't want it to happen. I wouldn't be happy. But
you could live with it. It's not going to break your heart, so to speak. Yeah. For me, I think of him a bit different because even though I know there are other centre backs out there that you can get better than him, like obviously right now, I do think even though I know he's 25, the potential's still mad. And I know he's had his injury problems, but I think people, because again, I kind of agree with Drift in terms of like the recency bias thing, because we haven't seen Joe Gomez put a run of 5 games together. We just haven't seen it. And I think people forget how good he has been and how good he can be. And I think we're very blessed to have all these centre backs in the club, but let's not underestimate Joe Gomez's importance as well, because I think if we're talking about combination in terms of skill set, he probably does complement Virgil the best, although I still think Matip, for whatever reason, is probably a bit better. But I think it's Matip's experience over Joe. I don't think it's got anything to do with ability. Now, some people will say, well, how do you see that, Matt? Because Matip is better.
IQ.
Well, hear me this now. If we're talking about running with the ball and breaking lines, yes, Matip is better. But if I said to you fizzing the ball into midfield, people sleep on Joe Gomez. Not only that, I kind of feel like Joe Gomez is better at intercepting than Matip. I think Matip probably will lay back a little bit and see when he can hit the ball. Whereas I think Joe Gomez, sometimes when I've seen him at the top of his game, when he sees an opening, he cuts it out immediately. And I'm going back to the 18-19 season. And I know what you're saying about how times move on, but I don't think we've moved past Joe Gomez. I just think he needs a run of games. Matip is a type of player where Matip can come in his first game and be amazing. Joe Gomez needs about 5 games. The problem is that when you're aiming for trophies, you don't get that opportunity. And that's why I feel like at this present time, he finds it hard to get back to that top level because he needs those 5 games, bro. Like in his mind, he's probably thinking, listen, I rate my brothers in that, but I kind of need to just play 4 or 5 games in a row to get up to speed and then I can move. Whereas the others are kind of can get in straight away.
Agreed. Look, as I said, I don't want Gomez to go. However, I can understand why he may.
And here's the other thing, guys, I just want to put in. Gerrard asking for Gomez. We're putting bare words in Gomez's mouth because all I keep hearing people say, look, if he wants to go, what do you do? There's no report saying Gomez wants to go. The report is that Gerrard inquired about his availability. So why have we put on this? Why have we added a little story to it by saying Gomez wants to go? There is not one thing I read that said Gomez wants to go, guys. So until I hear that part, we're just going off the premise of Gerrard asked about his availability. So on the fact of it just being asked about availability, we say, sorry, George, he's not available and done.
I agree. No, I say we
simple. Gomez did not come out and say I want to leave yet, guys. Until I see that part, I'm not adding parts to this conversation that aren't real.
But Drift, we do that on this show. That's the point of it. But we add parts about Origi. I had parts about Firmino. Matt had parts about Kane.
No, but a lot of the time it'll be off of kind of something. Gomez hasn't said nothing about wanting to leave.
No. But this is based on
murmurs have come out from his camp, and also when you just look at common sense, and it's a World Cup year.
So
He's barely
there
playing
are
in-
rumors that he wants to go.
Yeah, there've been rumors. Yeah,
well,
there
there's
have been
rumors that
rumours.
he wants more first team football. In terms of him wanting to leave,
Okay.
like definitively, that's another story. But the reason it started is because even from back towards the end of was it back towards the end of last year or something? There was murmurs that basically he feels like he warrants more playing time, and it's more of a case of Klopp saying knuckle down. And I think at
And
that
did they
point it was cool.
conveniently come out after Matt or before? Because I'll believe them more if they were there before the Gerrard thing. If it's come out after the Gerrard thing, that just seems like paper talk to me.
No. So this going back to Joe Gomez not being happy about playing time. This was even before he was linked.
Oh, okay, then I'll believe it. Then if it was before, then that's different.
Before.
Okay, cool.
I don't think he will. There's nothing to say that he wants to leave, but what there is though is that he's unhappy with his playing time, and I think some people just think, well, if he's unhappy, that means he wants to leave, and then the whole Gerrard thing. Maybe Aston Villa caught wind of that. Obviously, we know how agents work. Maybe sending out vibes like my client might want to go there, rare to tear. But as far as I'm aware, from what I know and what maybe other people do know, he doesn't want to leave, but he's unhappy at playing time.
Well, if it was before, then I'll believe it. Then that's different. So then obviously we can add his personal feelings into the equation. But before, when I read the article today and the things I've seen, it didn't mention anything about Gomez. So I was just thinking, well, all right, we just told Gerrard no. Like, no, we need our players. But if we do let him go, even if he wants to go, I'm sorry, we're in the same situation again. And you know what? We got to put it on Klopp a little bit as well, because I wouldn't be surprised if we hear Tsimikas is a little unhappy based on his performances, because he always gets dropped whenever he's playing well. It is on Klopp to learn how to rotate the players a bit better.
This isn't to do with that, though. This is to do with him wanting to play for England in a World Cup drift. And
but there's games where Klopp should have played Gomez and he hasn't, Cal. And that's the point I'm making. Like, Klopp has to be a bit better with the rotation of the players.
If he's injured, what can Klopp do?
But he was fit and he still wasn't playing him.
Yeah, because Matip and Konate were ahead of him at the time. But
Konate shouldn't have played before Gomez.
Why not?
Because Gomez has already proved he's capable, whereas Konate was untested. But if Gomez should have played before Konate.
There must be something that's
coming back from. Remember, Gomez is coming back from injury.
I think that's.
But Gomez's injury wasn't as severe as Van Dijk's, and Van Dijk came back quicker.
But they're different. No, but Virgil's injury happened before Gomez, and so Gomez's injury was just as severe, probably more severe, bro.
I'm sure Gomez was back in training before Virgil was in pre-season.
But it's how you react to it, though.
Yeah,
I mean, again, none of us are joking Klopp, but I'm guessing he's seen something that makes him think, do you know what? Even though theoretically Joe should be here, because I remember he made a statement about the injuries to both of them, and he actually said, I think this is before preseason. He goes, Joe Matip and I believe Joe Gomez were ahead of Virgil, but for whatever reason, Virgil's caught up and overtaken them both in terms of his recovery. Like Virgil's recovery kind of sped up a bit, and it comes down to the individual. And not only that, Joe Gomez has had more ravaging injuries in his career. So it could have been a case of maybe at some point he had a little setback they didn't want to say, and he's maybe still feeling the effects of certain things, because I do find it a bit, I wouldn't say mad, but like, we've seen Joe Gomez play a couple of games, hasn't the greatest. Konate hasn't necessarily set the world alight, but he's had a good couple of games like Man United and whatnot. But he still will pick Konate over Gomez. That says to me, he's seen something or he knows something.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because we bought Konate. It's like that. Let the new player get some game time, which obviously you have to do as well. But look, it seems like the majority of people want to see Gomez moved on. If
that's
it's the
not
case.
The case, Drift. It's not the majority.
No. The chat generally does seem like it's like, you know what? Like let's let Gomez.
I think they're just.
I'm reading the comments, and I'm not even saying it in a horrible way. I'm just saying I'm from what I'm seeing, majority of people are like, yeah, let's move Gomez on. Like that is what the majority of people are saying.
There's over
if that's the case, then it seems like people.
There's over 600 people watching this, and you're saying at least 333 people have said they want to see Gomez leave.
Well, the people if you don't want to talk, I don't know what you're saying. So the majority of the people who are making their voice heard are saying, yeah, let's move on from Gomez.
I'm not.
They are. That. So, like, if that's the case, fair enough. Like, you know what I mean? The majority of the fan base is saying, boom, let's get someone else. But then I ask you the question, who do we get? Who do we get? We can't be left with only 3 centre-backs and Nat, because it doesn't really seem like Klopp is that keen on
Yeah,
that
but you
either.
can't say three centre backs.
So
and
what
Nat.
do we
You'd have
do
to-
then?
But
Yeah,
Nat would
four
get brought in.
centre-backs.
It'll be four centre
Four
backs.
centre-backs.
He would, because what it is, Nat would obviously take Gomez's position. So Nat would
But
obviously
how
go for
keen
full
is he
thirds.
on Nat? Because Nat has Nat even played? I can't
No,
remember
but it's
the
because
last
we
time I
have
saw him.
five. We have five right now. So Matt's always going to be last. Sorry, Nat's going to be last. Sorry.
Let's move on. Let's get some super chats. Jordan says, if you guys had to pick 5 clutch players to definitely score 5 pens to save the world from ending, who would you pick? Jeez.
Ooh. All right, I've got my 5 already. I've got my 5.
Go
You
on
ready?
then, Matt.
In no order.
Is this historically or playing currently?
No, all time.
Of all time.
Oh,
time.
okay.
To stop the word ending.
Mm.
Mario Balotelli,
Yeah.
James Milner,
Like really.
I'm stuck.
Alan
Fernando.
Shearer.
No.
Fernando Hierro.
Alan Shearer, Del Piero.
No.
Bro,
I
how
don't-
many penalty takers have you ever seen
No, I
better than
don't
Del
trust
Piero
Del
and Alan
Piero.
Shearer?
Sorry,
Bro, Del
Letizia.
Piero is one of the best penalty
Letizia.
takers I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Letizia, I don't think he missed one. Did Letizia ever miss
I'm
one?
I'm swapping Del Piero for Batistuta drift.
I'm going Letizia. So I'm
Nah,
going Letizia,
that's crazy.
Balotelli, and Milner as 3. Steven Gerrard, because he knows if he misses, the world's done, and I think he'll do it.
That is shooting from 12 yards. No man's saving.
And the
his
5th
shot,
person, probably.
You know, Del Piero used to put every penalty in the top corner. That's how accurate he was.
I know, but I just want to see someone rip that net, bro.
Someone put Maitland-Niles. He's serious though. He's serious.
He is, bro. Because he'll look at you the whole way, bro, until he kicks the ball. He's serious.
But Maitland-Niles is the type of guy to score in his whole career. Like say he took 30 penalties and he scored 30. And then the one time the war's about to end, he does exactly the same thing. And he's so lackadaisical. He's like, guys, I've got this. And he misses and it's done.
That's like someone just put Pirlo and I'm like, he did miss against us.
Yeah, against yours. If he sees spaghetti legs, bro, we'll get PTSD. Cameraman, Cam, You'll Never Walk Alone says, big up you, man. Always grateful for the content. Don't always catch you live, but catching up during work or whilst I'm on my run. Hearing the FSG rants helps me up the pace. I'm a London Red myself. You'll never walk alone. Big up to yourself, bro. Star Dazing says Gomez is worse than Kanate in positioning. I think it's a debate. I think it's a debate.
But I still positioning. I'll say Gomez.
I think Gomez is slightly better, but he's also older, so I think you take that into consideration as well. Messi FC says Gerrard had the chance to save Roy. That was against Blackburn, although he did score in that game after he missed.
Gerrard knew what was better for the world.
Yeah, he did for real. Promo says Alisson has more goals than Gomez. Soon Kanate too. Yeah, Gomez not scoring doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Yeah, come on, guys. We're not going to do the stat pad over a centre back.
No, I don't think they're doing that. I just think he just.
No, but I do see a couple of people saying Gomez never scores goals. And I'm like, who cares about if he scores goals? He's a centre back.
My 5th one is Hazard. Sorry, I did. So my 5th one is Hazard. 5th one is Hazard.
I'm not taking Hazard.
No, I am. So my 5 are Balotelli, Letizia, Milner, Pirlo, and Hazard. They're not missing.
Pirlo misses, bro. He missed against us.
No, when it comes to end of the world, Pirlo will do the thing.
That wasn't that Milan's end of the world.
Did Pirlo miss in that shootout?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. He missed the first one. He got the negative. No,
he didn't miss the first. It was the second one.
Oh yeah, so Serginho missed the first one.
Right,
that means Pirlo couldn't take the pressure because he knew that Serginho missed. He was like, "Oh shit, if I miss, I'm done at it." And then he missed.
I'm going bold. I'm going Southgate.
I can't believe you lot are sleeping on Del Piero. Del Piero's penalties were
impeccable. I just said it's my top 5, bro.
Yeah,
no, but when Matt is taking man out and bringing another man in and still not bringing Del Piero in, I'm like, raw.
But it's my 5 though. I've got 4 anyway. There's a spot. Maybe he gets in. I'm not sure.
Jamrock says Joe can get time if Klopp don't play VVD 9% of the games. That's another thing as well. Virgil has to be rotated. Messi FC says I'm sure we can find something in Adrian's Park. I'm not gonna.
Guys, we have to be careful. Look,
yeah,
just a little
yeah.
disclaimer. Obviously, because we're on YouTube and we're content creators, we can't keep saying man's name like that. So just maybe sometimes just say the third choice goalkeeper
or
part
13
line.
or
Yeah.
13.
Know what I mean?
Jamie says Kanate for me was what we got in to replace Gomez and partner Virgil long term, and I'm going to say it. Gomez isn't better, any better than the centre back, any better a centre back than the fridge. Jamie, I completely disagree with that one. He's way better than Maguire. Zabiri says, bless up Matt and Drift, hope all is well. Can't believe I joined the stream hearing regular Sean Dyche. 3 yard man Dyche. What are you saying, Cal? Yard man Dyche when he comes out for special occasions still. He's abroad at the moment. He's abroad. He's in foreign.
I heard he's on holiday still. He's on holiday.
Yeah, he's in foreign at the moment. Doing up beach in Montego Bay and them places. Getting his tan on. Bassett
He's got
says,
a patty of rum in his hand.
We're saying he's on a Caribbean cruise, yeah. Man's just going to every island.
Man's got a patty and a magnum. He's moving.
I ain't staying at Sandals. That's all I'm saying.
I thought we saw him. No. We didn't see him.
Man said a patty and a magnum, you know. Fuck you know.
When it's the winter, obviously he goes back home minute and comes back in the summer.
Bro, you know them way.
Matt just like that was like a semi-fantasy just then. I'm like, put that patty and coca bread and I'm in dreamland.
Patty and magnum, come on.
Bro, saltfish patty and coca bread and a magnum and I'm in dreamland, bro.
Patty and magnum, man.
God, I am going to need a drink of water because that magnum is not washing that bread down.
No, it's really not.
Bassett one says, we cry about squad depth but don't want to dash man out. But want to dash man out.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Andre said, do we really think Matip will go the rest of this season injury-free? We will need Gomez. Very true.
Agree with that.
Promo says, Gomez is the only centre-back at halfway line for attacking corners. Very true. Although I do think we leave one of our fullbacks slightly back as well. I think that's Robbo who stays slightly back as well.
He might be taking it though. So yeah, Gomez is normally a good option to keep.
Then it'll be Trent on the other side.
And that's another reason why Gomez doesn't score many goals.
Yeah. Jamrock says, been reports that Gomez and other players are grumbling. Jeannie says, fellas, we need to win the league this season because next season will be more difficult than this one, and I do not trust FSG. Yeah, every season gets harder.
I agree with that.
People are saying the list is coming out for the Ballon d'Ors and Ronaldo finished higher than Salah.
Yeah.
No comment.
Lewandowski won it though, innit? Leo won it.
Did he?
I think Leo won it.
No, I heard Messi's won it.
Huh? What? No. Bayern
I genuinely don't take that.
Messi's won it. I'm almost.
I don't take that serious at all anymore. I just don't. I don't take it serious anymore.
Salah comes 7th. Hold on. I'll tell you, man, the list now. Just before we head out, I'll tell you the list. So the list is Salah 7th. Oh my days, Cristiano Ronaldo's in 6th place. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
It's popularity
there. Donnarumma. What's Donnarumma? Donnarumma won best what? Was it best goalkeeper or something?
Yeah.
De Bruyne was 8th.
Can I just ask, how well did Donnarumma do in the league? Because I know Italy won the Euros, but how well did Donnarumma do in the league last season? Because I'm trying to figure out how he's goalie of the year.
Nah, he did do well in the league.
If I'm not mistaken,
yeah. Okay, fair enough.
You man, am I going crazy? Did De Bruyne have an injury hit a little bit last season?
De Bruyne did fuck all. De Bruyne hasn't really done anything for
Didn't Gundogan have a better season last time?
Gundogan had a way better season than Kevin last year.
Gundogan
was it's a popularity competition, man. That's all it is, bro.
That's kind of
straight away. It's the MTV Ballon d'Or, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? How many fans do you have? You'll win. It's that simple, bro. If Messi won it over Lewandowski, come on, man.
It's mad.
Like, Messi was good, but he wasn't Lewandowski. Like, Lewandowski should have had a Ballon d'Or the year before as well.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's ridiculous, man. All
right, guys. Before we get up the FPL league, etc., just want to say, smash the like button if you haven't already. I've got it, Matt. It's cool.
You got it. All right, cool.
Yeah, I've got it. Also, a topic for you guys to think about. And again, shout out to Lakers who basically came out with this notion. The AFCON is done. Sorry, other competitions are done in the summer where there's a natural break for those competitions, right? However, Qatar 2022, there's going to be a break from all leagues so that competition can happen, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't the same respect shown to the AFCON?
Just said it best. Didn't even say that. I mean, he just gave the signal.
But why can't that happen? So again, food for thought, because when Lakers said that to me, I was like, yeah, I can't even argue with that. That's fantastic. So
yeah.
I mean, the argument people were trying to say is the World Cup involves everybody. That's the argument that we use.
African players play all over Europe and the world now.
Yeah, but they will say, but the World Cup has everybody in it. That will be the excuse. But we all know.
We don't know the truth, though.
Mr. Dare I say, Drift says, Cow is the referee. Drifty's team is Ali, Trent, Job. Who's Job?
No, Robbo, bro.
Eh?
No, shit, Ali. There is a Job. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that must be Joel. Joe Gomez, Robbo, Hendo, Thiago, Millie, Nabi, Ox, Bobby. Matt's team is Kelleher, Nico, Nat, VVD, Simicast, Fab, Kurtz, Jones, Mo, Harvey, Mane, and Jota. I'm going with Matt's team. There's more balance.
As soon as Salah was in there and Van Dijk,
it's the front four. It's the front four, and they've got
Mo, Harvey, Mane, and Jota. I can't even lie.
That does it.
Yeah. By the way, I'd also just like to ask you, bro, why Origi wasn't my striker.
What? Yikes!
No, I'm just saying that because man left Origi off of both teams. Man read out 22 players and Origi weren't there.
You guys know VVD played every single minute in 74 consecutive Premier League games from the 18th of September to October 20. Klopp's over-reliant on VVD can be a huge hindrance. I agree. There's no reason for him to play consistently 74 games, in my opinion.
Yeah, he can get
he was an absolute colossal during that time, but yeah.
To be fair, if he didn't get the big injury now, Klopp would still be treating man. He would have had 155 games in a row. Like,
it's actually true. It's actually true.
Like, you're rinsed, man.
All right, people, it's that time, and just as we predicted, Scoop is back on top of the league.
I knew that's why he was so happy.
922. He could potentially break that 1,000 point barrier in the next set of games. He will. Scoop is on fire.
He's actually got a comfortable lead now. 12 points is quite a comfortable lead.
It's 14 points, Drew. 14. Mark.
Oh shit, is that 922? Oh shit, I thought I said 920. Shit.
Nah. Mark A is in second place, closely followed by Marcus in third place on 906. Only 2 points between them. Fourth place is Lewis Tika Mo Salah, 899. A point separating him from Roughton Klein, Pool for Love. Coppers in sixth place on 888. No betting around here. Only fans bet is who we promote here. Mo Mane, Mo Problems is in seventh place on 885. Then look at the layout underneath this. Eighth place, 884 for James. Ninth place, Nathy FC, 883. Not a Sweat FC, 883 as well. 40-year-old Virgil, 881 in 11th. Guys, the league is hotting up. Shout out to Calvin, Shaq, Harrison, and AJ, who make up the rest of the top 15. 869 in 15th place, 868. Guys, the league is hotting up, but as we can see, got a hand out to Scoop. Faced a bit of adversity, came firing back, and he's top of the league again. Will it stay that way?
I was really disappointed this week because I had 2 or 3 Tottenham players in my team, and I just don't get a chance to make up the points I lost from them not playing. It's just like,
you had Spurs players in there.
Yeah, I had some Spurs players in there because the game got cancelled. For me, it's just tough luck. Like, I don't get any blighs, I don't get anything. I'm just, oh well, I think that's
Like
a
when
little
you
bit
bet on
unfair.
Spurs, bro. Never bet on
I
Spurs.
think
They
that's
do a
no,
Spurs
because the thing
thing.
is when they have that makeup game, what
those
it
points.
should do to actually be fair is even if he's not in your team at the time when it's played, you should be allowed to get whatever points are accumulated, because it's not fair that I don't get points now, someone else does, and then when that game's on, you could do a little something, get that Spurs player in your team, get extra points. And do you get what I mean? Like, I don't like the way they do that. I think that's a little bit weird the way they do that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't have many. Do I really have any Spurs team?
don't know.
Spurs
I don't
players?
No, but it could have
I
happened
don't
to
bet on
anyone,
Spurs.
Matt. It could
No, I
happen
hear
to
that.
anyone.
But
Do you
it's
know what I'm
such a
saying?
Spurs, as they say, it's a Spursy
Spursy.
thing, isn't it?
Spurs.
Now, imagine if
Typical
you had,
Spurs.
imagine if you had 2 Burnley players and 2 Tottenham players, and you're 4 players down now on your game week. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
They
no,
may
I hear
figure
that, I hear
something out. They
They
probably
probably will. They have to, I think.
Mr.
They don't care.
Darsages says Origi, Gordon, and Nat are Drifty subs. Taki, Bradley, and Morton and Matt subs. Also, Drifty's team is the injury-prone, run-down, old age players in the team. Matt is opposite. Yeesh, that's a bit harsh.
Bloody
I guess
hell!
I'm winning.
What was the actual? That was just to just.
Hey,
grill
thank
them
you for the
players.
love, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie. Since I've won my first draft, I'm getting bare love on these kind of these picks for the first time ever. Like, I can't even lie. Like,
Oh boy. But people, we are going to be back tomorrow during the day for a Everton Liverpool preview. So make sure you join us for that. Check out our socials and we'll let you guys know what time we'll be going. And then obviously be back on Wednesday for the big game. And we'll be chopping up then as well. Matt Drift, anything you want to say before we take the people out?
looking forward to Wednesday. Big game on Wednesday, obviously Everton. So yeah, it's gonna be a good game. But yeah, stay tuned, people, for tomorrow for the preview. Obviously, we'll let you know on the socials, like what Carl said. So yeah, man.
Yeah, seems
Let's
like the
move.
narrative is
We
free
move.
Joe. So free Joe, innit?
People, always a pleasure. Enough love to you all. And until we see you tomorrow, stay safe, stay blessed. Thank you for rocking with us as always. We are Kop-Ish and we are out, people. Take care.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I said let's go.